Hello, Los Angeles Lakers fans. We're back with an exclusive video brought to you. To get the latest updates, subscribe to the channel and like the video. It's important to stay informed with daily news. Without further ado, let's get started. Get Pavel's arrival in the news. Paul George, the 9-time All-Star, was seen as a big move for Philadelphia. The 76ers are expected to elevate the team to a serious title contender. The 2024-2025 season has seen some major developments. However, George has struggled to regain his elite form. Through 28 games, George is averaging a disappointing 17.0 points per game, marking his lowest scoring average since his sophomore season in 2011. He is far from the dominant player he once was. George's subpar basketball has led Sporting News analyst Matt John to suggest a trade to send him back to Los Angeles, where he began his NBA career. According to John, a proposed 3-team trade would send George to the Lakers, while the 76ers would sign All-Star point guard Zach LaVine. The rebuilding Chicago Bulls would receive a mix of players and assets in return. The trade split would see the 76ers receive Zach LaVine, Jared Vanderbilt, and a protected first-round pick, top 10. Meanwhile, the Lakers would get George and a 2028 second-round pick. The Bulls would receive Rui Hachimura, Gabe Vincent, Max Christie, Kenyon Martin Jr., Jalen Hood-Schifino, and a 2027 second-round pick. The trade proposals represent a significant realignment of talent between the teams. Analyst Matt John noted that LaVine would be a great addition for the 76ers, while George could find motivation in the Lakers to return to an all-star level alongside LeBron James and Anthony Davis, two of the league's best players. While losing young talent like Max Christie is a tough decision, the Lakers are willing to take the bold step of acquiring George given the urgency to maximize the potential of their dynamic duo of LeBron and Davis. LaVine, on the other hand, would bring new energy to a 76ers team that has had a season marred by injuries and George's underwhelming performance. With LaVine at his best, the 76ers could remain competitive, while a first-round pick would add a valuable asset for the future. George, now 34, has had other opportunities to join the Lakers in the past, but the circumstances never aligned. In 2017, he expressed his desire to be traded to the Indiana Pacers, but was instead sent to the Oklahoma City Thunder. Now, with a potential trade on the horizon, fans are eagerly awaiting to see if George will finally get the chance to wear a Lakers jersey. Meanwhile, rumors of key players Rui Hachimura and Gabe Vincent leaving have also been circulating. The departure of Vincent, who excelled with the Miami Heat before signing with the Lakers, raises questions about the stability of the team. Additionally, Hachimura, who has impressed with standout performances including 36 points against the Utah Jazz, could follow in Vincent's footsteps if he were to leave the team. These possible moves raise questions about the impact on the team's chemistry and its quest for another title. However, changes could open up space for new opportunities and reinforcements. Lakers fans, known for their passion and loyalty, are eagerly awaiting the developments in these speculations. Regardless of what happens, the future of the Lakers promises to be full of excitement and surprises. The rumors also raise questions about how the Lakers will balance the impact of potential losses with the need to strengthen the team to maximize its competitiveness. In addition to George, Zach LaVine's name emerges as a central piece in the conversation, standing out as a player with the potential to integrate quickly and fill offensive gaps on the 76ers roster. At the same time, the Bulls appear ready to rebuild their team, betting on trading valuable assets and young talent. The addition of players like Rui Hachimura and Gabe Vincent is seen as strategic, as it would bring depth to Chicago's rotation, while Jalen Hood-Schifino and Max Christie offer promise for the future. The transfer window is shaping up to be a critical time for the Lakers, who must balance the urgency of capitalizing on the presence of LeBron James and Anthony Davis with the risk of losing emerging talent. Adding George could bring immediate benefits, but it also requires a big gamble, especially considering his recent history of uneven performance and advancing age. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, the moves involve not only technical calculations but also the emotional impact of those decisions. Players like Hachimura and Vincent have strong connections with fans and the locker room. Their eventual departures could significantly alter the team's environment, requiring the Lakers to manage not only external expectations but also internal dynamics. On the other hand, the 76ers need to evaluate whether LaVine, even in excellent form, is the answer to fix the inconsistency issues that have plagued the team. The first-round draft pick would be a bet on the future, but the pressure to perform in the present weighs on both the team and its fans. With the trade deadlines approaching, the decisions these three teams make could shape their trajectories for years to come. For the Lakers, it's about making the most of the LeBron and Davis window. For the 76ers, it's about how to stay competitive while adapting to adversity. For the Bulls, the focus is on restarting the rebuilding process while keeping an eye on the long-term value of the pieces they'll receive. The only certainty at the moment is that the next moves are likely to shape the NBA landscape in significant ways, as fans eagerly await answers to so many outstanding questions. In addition to the technical and emotional dynamics involved in these potential trades, there is also the financial factor. Paul George's contract is a central piece in this entire negotiation, considering its high value and remaining duration. For the Lakers, acquiring a player with such a high salary requires precise adjustments to the salary cap, as well as solid confidence that George will be able to deliver consistent performances and, most importantly, be available during the playoffs. The 76ers, on the other hand, may view George's departure as a way to alleviate financial pressures and redirect resources to other critical areas of the roster. This aligns with their strategy of keeping the team competitive without compromising long-term flexibility. LaVine, while also on a significant contract, brings a younger, more offensive profile and offers more years of high-performance potential. For the Bulls, the focus is on maximizing the assets they receive in exchange for LaVine. Players like HACHIMURA and VINCENT offer not only immediate potential, but also market value that can be used in future trades. The idea of accumulating draft picks and promising talent demonstrates the team's intent to build a solid core through a structured rebuilding process. The impact of a trade of this magnitude extends beyond just on-court performance, but also to the narrative surrounding each team. A potential reunion between George and Los Angeles would reignite discussions about his legacy and his ability to collaborate with big stars like LeBron and Davis. On the other hand, the 76ers could face criticism if LaVine fails to live up to expectations and transform the team into a true championship contender. Behind the scenes, negotiations also involve trust between teams and a willingness to take risks. No team wants to be seen as the loser in a high-profile trade, especially in a league where public perception and fan pressure directly influence long-term decisions. The ramifications of these moves could also alter the strategies of other NBA teams. A successful trade between the Lakers, 76ers and Bulls could prompt other franchises to explore bold deals before the market closes, creating a cascade of moves that would reshape the league's strengths for the rest of the season. Now, we just have to wait and see how each of these pieces will fit into the complex NBA puzzle and whether the teams involved are truly willing to sacrifice the present for the sake of an uncertain future or vice versa. Another important aspect to consider is the time pressure. With the season already underway, the Lakers, 76ers and Bulls need to make quick decisions so that any trades have a significant impact on the current campaign. Delaying the completion of these negotiations could not only reduce the time available for the integration of new players, but could also create instability on the roster, especially among the players directly involved in the rumors. Additionally, Paul George's physical condition and injury history pose a calculated risk for the Lakers. While he still has the ability to be one of the league's best defenders and shooters, the impact of a demanding season could limit his contribution during crucial moments. The Lakers' medical staff's ability to manage his workload will be critical to ensuring he is at his best when he is needed most. Meanwhile, on the 76ers side, Zach LaVine is expected to bring more explosiveness to the offense and relieve the responsibilities of other players like Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey. The combination of these three players has the potential to form one of the most dynamic trios in the league, but that synergy is not guaranteed. Adjusting roles and avoiding offensive redundancies will be a challenge for the coach and his staff. From the Bulls' perspective, the rebuild is about more than just accumulating assets. It will be crucial to identify which of the young players they have received have the most potential for growth and which could be used as bargaining chips for future deals. The balance between developing talent and maintaining a minimum level of competition to attract fans will be one of the biggest dilemmas for the front office. Another factor that cannot be ignored is the psychological impact of these negotiations on other players on the three rosters. Uncertainty about the future can affect the performance of players who, although not directly included in the trades, may feel insecure about their role on the team. Creating an environment of stability amidst the changes will be a test for the leaders of each team, both on and off the court. Ultimately, the outcome of these trades could be a game-changer in the narrative of the 2024-2025 NBA season. If successful, the teams involved could redefine their campaigns and short-term ambitions. Otherwise, misjudgments or failures in execution could expose structural weaknesses that would compromise not only the season, but also mid- and long-term plans. The pressure is on, and each move will have consequences that reverberate far beyond the present moment. Another critical point worth noting is how these deals could influence the league-wide trade market. Moves involving high-impact players like Paul George and Zach LaVine could trigger a ripple effect, with other franchises adjusting their strategies to keep up with the changing competitive landscape. Teams like the Celtics, Bucks and Suns, who also have championship aspirations, could feel the need to look for reinforcements, especially if they see their direct rivals getting significantly stronger. Furthermore, trades can drastically change the team's future prospects. For the Lakers, George's arrival could not only improve their immediate chances of winning a title, but also create new opportunities to attract other veterans in search of rings, further strengthening the roster. For the 76ers, acquiring LaVine could work as a strategic step to keep Joel Embiid committed to the franchise, something crucial given the history of dissatisfaction among stars in similar situations in the league. For the Bulls, the rebuild requires patience and a long-term vision. The team's management will need to ensure that the acquired assets are used efficiently, whether to develop talent or as a basis for future trades. Any hasty decisions could jeopardize the team's progress at a time when it is looking to redefine its identity within a competitive conference. Coaches will also play a key role in the transition. For the Lakers' Darvin Ham, integrating Paul George into a system already centered around LeBron James and Anthony Davis will require tactical adjustments that maximize the strengths of all three. The 76ers, Nick Nurse will have the challenge of creating a rotation where LaVine, Embiid and Maxey can coexist effectively without the offense becoming predictable. Meanwhile, the Bulls' Billy Donovan will need to take a more experimental approach to identify promising combinations in a revamped roster. Finally, the implications of these trades extend beyond the court, affecting the public perception of the franchises. The Lakers, for example, have a history of making big moves, and any failure to deliver on these trades will be met with intense criticism. For the 76ers, the pressure comes from a fan base accustomed to high expectations, while the Bulls need to convince their fans that the rebuild is part of a solid plan and not just a desperate response to a lack of recent success. The conclusion of these negotiations will define not only the future of the teams involved, but also the balance of power in the NBA as a whole. With each passing day, the decisions become more urgent, and the next steps will be decisive in determining who will truly emerge victorious from this complex chess game of the league. Another element that cannot be ignored is the reaction of the players involved in the trade rumors. Players like Rui Hachimura and Gabe Vincent, who played important roles on the Lakers roster, could see their performances impacted if the speculation continues to gain momentum. Uncertainty about the future often affects confidence and focus, especially for players who are just starting to establish their careers in big markets. Then there's the issue of the locker room impact. Changes of this magnitude not only change the dynamics on the court, but also alter the relationships and chemistry built throughout the season. LeBron James and Anthony Davis, as leaders of the Lakers, will have the responsibility of keeping the group united and motivated, regardless of who arrives or leaves. For the 76ers, Joel Embiid will need to adopt a similar approach, assuming the role of point guard to help with the transition with LaVine or other potential reinforcements. Another important aspect is the economic impact of trades of this magnitude. The Los Angeles market is especially sensitive to changes, with a trade for a player like Paul George expected to significantly increase ticket sales, jersey sales, and other commercial factors. For the 76ers and Bulls, the trade implications could vary depending on the results on the court. A rebuilding team like Chicago needs to balance sports and financial results to keep its fan base engaged. From a strategic standpoint, the decisions on these trades also influence mid- and long-term plans. LeBron James' window is closing, and the Lakers need to decide whether it's worth sacrificing young assets to maximize their title chances now. At the same time, the 76ers are in a delicate position, as any wrong move could not only jeopardize their season, but also increase speculation about Embiid's permanence with the team. Ultimately, the potential consequences of these trades will also be felt across the league. If successful, they could serve as models for other franchises facing similar situations, demonstrating how a risky move can redefine a team's ambitions. If they fail, they will be remembered as warnings about the importance of carefully evaluating all variables before making such significant decisions. Meanwhile, the entire league is watching closely, waiting for the next chapters that will inevitably shape the rest of the season. With each new board meeting or contact between agents, the tension rises, and the fans of the teams involved anxiously await an outcome that brings hope and concrete results. The financial value that can be generated by these trades goes beyond the sporting impact. For the Lakers, acquiring Paul George not only improves their chances of competing for a title, but also significantly increases the commercial appeal of the franchise. The arrival of an elite player attracts more media attention, sponsorships, and, most importantly, boosts ticket sales and licensed merchandise. It is estimated that, in a market like Los Angeles, the addition of a star to the roster can generate tens of millions of dollars in additional revenue over the course of a season. The 76ers, on the other hand, have the chance to leverage Zach LaVine's value both on and off the court. LaVine, a player known for his explosive style and popularity among fans, could quickly become one of the faces of the franchise, generating new marketing opportunities and commercial partnerships. An increase in fan engagement is expected, especially if the team starts to see positive results with his arrival. For the Bulls, who are entering a rebuilding period, the primary value of the trades lies in the assets acquired. The potential return of young players and draft picks is a valuable currency in the modern NBA, especially when used wisely to attract emerging talent or build a competitive roster. Additionally, reducing the financial commitment of expensive contracts like LaVine's frees up cap space for future moves and gives the team more flexibility. There is also an indirect economic impact that can be felt in the local market. In Los Angeles, for example, the Lakers' success often has a ripple effect, benefiting local businesses, from bars and restaurants to tourism services, thanks to the increase in fan and visitor traffic. In Philadelphia, the acquisition of LaVine could revitalize fan interest, generating more capacity at the arena and encouraging the consumption of team-related merchandise. Additionally, the NBA as a whole benefits from trades like these. Large-scale moves generate conversations on social media, increase game viewership, and boost sales of TV and streaming packages. The league has consistently been one of the biggest beneficiaries of such transactions, capitalizing on the global attention these stories attract. Finally, it is important to remember that the success or failure of these trades will also directly affect the market value of each franchise. Teams that manage to build winning rosters, even temporarily, often see a significant increase in the valuation of their assets, which can translate into multi-million-dollar gains for their owners in the long term. Therefore, the decisions made now are crucial not only for the current season, but also for the financial and sporting future of these organizations. Thank you very much for following along. If you like the content and want to stay up to date with all the news, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. That way, you won't miss any exclusive updates about the Lakers and everything that happens in the world of basketball. See you next time.